What up, y'all? It's Dominic 369 coming back at y'all for Occultism Unleashed. We looking at the United States astrological chart. We're looking at the United States astrological chart, man. And I promise you, they finna get the sauce. They finna get the sauce. Put on my eyes. Now look, you know, the sun is moving right here. The sun is moving from the fifth to the sixth house. You know, the sixth house rule the military. So when the sun is on the sixth house cusp, that means the focus is about to go to the military, to the police, to the unions, these things, the healthcare system, these things ruled by the sixth house are about to be highlighted and the focus of what's going on in the United States. The moon, the new moon is also gonna has occurred because it was a few hours ago. It happened in the United States fifth house of how they promote themselves. It's in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is a sign that's naturally on the second house of values. The sun, what's interesting to me, the sun is about to square the moon in the third house. The moon rules the house of death, and the sun is about to square Neptune, is about to trine Neptune in the ninth house. Foreign affairs, publishing, and media. They're about to tell you guys a lot of lies in the newspapers, on the TV. Neptune is making a trine to Mercury. That tells about deception with the allies and things like that. They're about to tell y'all a lot of lies, and the things that you see going on in Palestine and the Middle East. The United States have known about it for about 2 weeks. Israel gave about 2 weeks notice. That's in the chart too. Because the seventh house rule your allies. The ruler Mercury right here, the ruler of the second house, is about to go. Of the seventh house is about to go into the seventh house. Mercury going into the seventh house. It's gonna hit Mars. When Mercury hit Mars in about 10 days, you may see some good legislation for black people because Mars ruled black people. But right here, Mars squaring Saturn. This is gonna happen in about roughly 10 days. I told you, Saturn is it rules the second house of values because Capricorn's over here, and Saturn in the 10th house, it rules the president. In the 10th house, rules the legislative body in charge. With that square, this can go one or two ways. It can mean that the president and legislatures are going to do some things that are going to cause some conflict and hostility between black people and disenfranchised people in the government. Or it can mean that the government is going to make a change, a real change, a sharp change, because a square goes up straight and then it goes on a 90-degree angle. It has to change. It comes to a point and then it makes a sharp change, or there's a collision. No change, there's going to be a motherfucking collision in this bitch. There's going to be a collision. And Mars is in the seventh house, and the seventh house rules war. It rules war. Mars ruled war. Speaking of Mars ruling war, in about 5 days, you can expect the United States to be involved in some international fucking conflicts. And the media is going to lie to you about it. They are. They sure the fuck are. Again, media outlets and news is ruled by the third house, because the third house is naturally ruled by Gemini. Communication, messaging, writing. That's all on the newspaper. Now, publishing is ruled by Jupiter in Sagittarius, but the actual news and the writing of it is ruled by Gemini. You see, the third house is where Gemini is naturally placed it. But in this chart, United States chart, you don't see it go. You don't see the sign of Pisces because it's called intercepted. That means the energy of that sign is trapped in between two other signs. So with Pisces in the United States third house being intercepted, that says, you know, this country controls and is deceptive with the fucking information. They use information, the third house, as a means to intoxicate people, to deceive them, to distort their reality. Neptune, which rules Pisces, is also in the third house. They use spells on y'all all the time. I make a video on that later. I will make a video on that later because it's important, because y'all need to know how they do it so you can defend yourself. So I got you on that later. Man, there's so much, you know, and you know, Uranus is transiting through the United States chart. That's about to hit on the sun too. You know, that's about to make a sextile to the sun. You know, in the 7th house. Expect some spontaneous shit, spontaneous announcement, unexpected announcements of wars. You know, things going on in foreign affairs. You know, getting involved with other people's affairs and foreign nations. You know, because the sun rules the 9th house, which deals with, you know, publishing. It deals with religion, spirituality, higher education, and it deals with, you know, foreign lands. The United States has Leo on its 9th house. You know, Leo is ruled by the sun. The United States is the king in foreign lands. That's true. You know, but the ruler of the 9th house, where Leo is at, is in the 7th house. They do this with war. You know, the sun, United States sun in Cancer, you know, people and nations with the sun and Cancer have the ability to be really compassionate, and they have the capacity to be extremely cruel. You will notice that most people who are in relationship with Cancer dudes, the dude can be very violent and abusive, you know, or very sweet and nurturing. But when he's violent and abusive, they're violent and abusive and merciless. And the United States is the same way. The sun in Cancer shows how this nation projects itself, you know. And the sun ruling the 9th house, it shows how it projects itself on foreign nations. So when you get down to the nitty gritty, we're about to go to war in a few days. You know, we're about to go to war in a few days. You know, I say look for news around the 13th to the 15th. You know, but they're not gonna tell the truth about what's going on. They're not. And it's gonna come back to bite them in the ass. You know, there's an eclipse coming at the end of the month around the full moon. I think that's the 24th or the 25th. You know, but we'll get into that in a whole different video, because it's a lot going on, man. A lot. You know, Saturn, the ruler of the second house, United States second house, is in the second house, in the sign of Aquarius. And it's making a trine to the natal Saturn. So I want to tell y'all, some good changes are coming. You know, it's slow to the wheel, especially for Black people, but some good changes are coming. You know, good changes are coming. You know, Saturn trine Saturn, values in you know, legislative body and control in the office of the president, which is the 10th house. You know, you're gonna see some good legislation, man. It might not hit Black people till after it really goes down, because they really need to be scared to do something for you. And I'm not saying Black people are gonna do nothing or telling y'all to do nothing. You know, our gods are moving for us. You don't got to do nothing but make sure you can take care of yourself and your community. You know, they are at the mercy of our gods. And I'm not talking about Jesus, Jehovah, or Allah. Y'all just take care of yourself and each other, and we gonna be all right. You know, but they in trouble. You know, and I'm sure they understand they're in trouble. As Pluto opposes United States part of fortune, you know, in the house of death. You know, you're going to see. You are going to see. Death is around the corner. It definitely is. and it's moving fast. It's moving fast as Jupiter, Jupiter goes into Pisces. Jupiter goes into Pisces, you know, when they hit that Uranus, man, they hit that square on Uranus. Expect expect the worst. Expect the worst for health, you know. Expect the worst for health, you know. Uranus rules the nervous system. It rules the nerves. Aquarius rules the blood, but Uranus rules the nerves because it's sent by electrical impulses, and Uranus rules electric. I think over the next few months you're gonna see, that as a result of COVID and the things that people have done to try to stop COVID, I'm not gonna say the word. It's gonna cause some neurological damage to a lot of people. You know, um, Gemini rules the lungs, the hands, the fingers, the arms. I think you're gonna see some side effects and symptoms of people losing their motor skills and some of their linguistic abilities. Yep, it's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be ugly. Um, well, good on a lighter note, Neptune is gonna trine Mercury in the eighth house. So people that you guys love the most, the preachers and stuff, they'll be able to make it easy for you guys to easier for you guys to swallow all the pain that's coming. They'll be able to make it more palatable for you. Uh, I wouldn't say it's all bad because you know situation got to change. You know, it's pain and discomfort that signal time for change. And some people haven't really experienced pain in a long time. They've only experienced the pain of others. Sometimes they found it in them to be empathetic and compassionate, mostly for self-serving reasons, because that's the nature. That's the nature of the compassion in this chart. Cancer rules the nurturing and compassion ability. It's on the eighth house. They nurture and compassion when they're trying to get other people's resources, the resources of others. So it's kind of like a damned if you do and damned if you don't dealing with them. Good news though. Venus ruled the 10th house and Venus ruled the 6th house. The government official, party in control, police, unions, stuff like that. Health. Venus in Gemini. Venus in Gemini. First, it's gonna hit this North Node. It's gonna hit this North Node in Leo and in the eighth, and you're gonna see a lot of spiritual awe going on. A lot of shocking awe with the spiritual shit going on. Trust me. The spiritual people are gonna come out and shine. The healers are gonna come out and shine. But what I like the most is Venus squaring Neptune. I told you, Neptune ruled that Pisces that's intercepted in the third house of communication. Neptune is the natural ruler of secrets. Venus ruled the police. Venus ruled the military. A lot of secrets finna get told. A lot of things y'all been hiding. Y'all finna get exposed. Corruption within the Department of Corrections all over the United States. Y'all finna get exposed. And motherfucking Neptune is in the ninth house. It's gonna be on an international level. It's gonna be on an international level, man. It's gonna be on an international level. And like I say, when Jupiter going to Pisces, it's gonna hit Uranus. That's gonna destroy the United States reputation. It's gonna destroy it. Because Jupiter ruled the United States first house, and the first house is a nation's, reputation. You got Sagittarius on that cusp, but it's to deal with the reputation overseas, man. The United States is about to get humbled. They about to lose their place on the world stage because they have failed. And then next year, you're gonna see that square with Jupiter and Mars. You see that square with Jupiter and Mars, man. And that's when the real big changes are gonna happen for black people in this country. 2022 is for y'all. It's for us. 2022. I guarantee you that. You're gonna get your just due if you do your part. Don't be looking for nobody to hold your hand. You got to do your part and take care of each other and yourselves. You get your just due. In about a week, you can expect a death rate. A lot of death in the United States in about a week. A lot of death. Especially when Jupiter goes retrograde and hits on this moon. Yeah, whole lot of death. Whole lot of death. It's coming. So make sure you secure your section. Take care of your family. Take care of your community, man. Like I told y'all a long time ago. Grow your own food. And police your fucking self. And y'all be all right. You definitely will be all right. Because Mercury going in this seventh house. Mercury rule our allies and our open enemies. Mercury rule our allies and our open enemies. So you can expect it. It's coming. That war is coming. And it's coming fast. It's coming fast. It's coming fast, man. In about 10 days, though. 10 days, like I said, you'll see some legislation for black people coming. You'll see some legislation for black people. As Mercury moved through the seventh house and get to touching on Cancer. Let me see, what's this? You're gonna see laws getting passed and stuff dealing with the police. A lot of changes are coming, and a lot of people aren't gonna be happy with it. You're not supposed to be concerned about if they happy with it or not. Just be concerned if you are prepared to deal with they expressions of discontent. That's all you're obligated to do, is make sure you're prepared to deal with people's expressions of discontent. When we get up to the around the time of the eclipse, May 25th, May 25th, 26th, that's when Venus is gonna be conjunct Mars. You're gonna see some static, real static between the police and black people. You're gonna see some real static, Jack. A conjunction means confrontation, and the confrontation, it might be a good thing where they sit down and negotiate, because conjunctions don't always mean conflict, but it's gonna be something. They're gonna get the business clear. They're gonna get the business clear, and I hope it's a means of communication and legislation and a meeting of the minds. Because if it don't happen like that, it's gonna be bloody. It's gonna be bloody. Like I say, Mars moving to the 8th house right around that time, to the house of death. It squares Saturn in the 10th house. Right before that. So I'm not too optimistic about it being some diplomatic shit. But this is what I can assure you. If it doesn't get handled, if it doesn't get handled in a diplomatic way, when Mars opposes Pluto, man, Mars goes opposite Pluto around the first week in June, around June 7th or something like that. Mars gonna conjunct Mercury, then it's gonna be opposite Pluto. If they don't get it together, they're gonna find out how mad black people are all around the world. Pluto rules shit on the world scale. Like right now, Pluto is in the United States' 2nd house of values. It's retrograde and conjunct the natal Pluto. So the world is seeing and reflecting on the United States values. The world is seeing the hypocrisy. So you don't change, you lose your value, you lose your status in the world, because Pluto destroys what refuses to transform. So a lot of people in this nation are going to get humbled. That's what I'll say. It's going to be a lot of humbling going on. And it is my sincere hope, it's my sincere hope that people do the right thing for everybody. That people do the right thing for everybody. So give y'all attention to around May 17th, 21st, the week prior to the eclipse. Get ready. Get ready. Because it's going down. It's going down.